study published in the Therapeutic Advances in Medical Oncology finds standard breast cancer treatments are less effective for Black women compared to other racial groups.
That's right. The American Cancer Society says 40% more Black women die from breast cancer than white women. That rate is nearly double when compared to Native American women. It is even higher compared to Hispanic, Asian, and Pacific Islander women. Researchers say that part of the problem is Black women are underrepresented in clinical trials, making up only 7% of enrollment.
To talk more about this is Dr. Vivian B. She's a breast surgical oncologist at NewYork-Presbyterian-Weill Cornell Medicine and the chief of breast surgery at NewYork-Presbyterian Brooklyn Methodist Hospital. Dr. B, welcome. Thank you so much. This is such important work that you're doing. What did researchers look at to determine standard treatments are failing Black women? And can you explain why those treatments don't work as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. And, it really starts with the fact that we have to really look at cancer and breast cancer like one size does not fit all. When we look at the research that was recently done, they were really looking at a molecular level, the dysregulation of DNA damage repair genes, and what that means with the current treatment regimen for patients with hormone-positive breast cancer. Look, back in the day, we said that disparities due to breast cancer were due to access to care. Now we're finding that there are so many reasons that sort of contribute to the disparities that exist, and this is certainly one. From the molecular standpoint, how is it different for Black women? From the biology of the tumor, how is it different? And so in order to really address those questions, we have to really address the issue of representation in these clinical trials that ultimately determine the treatment regimen for breast cancer. And if we don't have representation, minority representation, specifically Black women, then we cannot generalize and say that those treatments are going to be effective for all patients.
So, doctor, we understand, as you're just outlining, that a big part of the problem is that underrepresentation of Black women in this research, in this breast cancer research. But what about an underrepresentation of Black women in the field itself, right? You're an oncologist, like in the field of the researchers actually doing the work. Will boosting the representation of Black women, there as well help make treatments more equitable?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? I mean, it's representation from all levels. That's why it's important to have people like me. I am a Black woman, a breast surgeon. I certainly had other Black women who pulled me up when I said, listen, I realized that I can make change in my community. I know that education matters. I know that representation matters. In fact, we know that there's research that shows that when an individual has a physician that looks like them, they respond differently. Look, when we talk about clinical trials, we cannot forget the historical context of the Tuskegee, racism that existed. That historical context is there. We have to address it. I address that with my patients every day when we talk about clinical trials. I address the elephant in the room and I say, listen, this is why we are here in 2022. We know that we're not there. Certainly we've come a long way. There's more for us to do, but representation matters, from medical students to residents to physicians and attendings in academic centers, as well as in the community. And so that's why I have chosen to go down this route and really tackle breast disparities head on.
Dr. B, we know Black communities in this country have a long history of distrusting the medical community, but your team came up with a plan to help patients understand the importance of clinical trials and even motivate them to take part. A lot of people are busy. Can you tell us about that? How are you planning to get more Black women signing up for these critical clinical trials?
So we're very excited about the progress that we have made at our institution. What we recognize is that there are different layers. There are system layers. There are patient factors. There are physician factors as well. And so what we did with our multidisciplinary breast program is we started with education first. We educated our physicians, our nurse practitioners, our treatment team, our physicians as well. When the patient called or was scheduled for a breast cancer clinic visit, they were aware that we had clinical trials available. So that's key. Empowering patients so that they know, hey, this exists here. We sent videos to our patients so that they were aware of the importance of clinical trials. And then we really engaged our whole team so that there was the removal of bias. And, I speak about it often. There is unconscious and conscious bias in our healthcare system. And so removing that bias such that every patient who walks in the door, doesn't matter your race, your ethnicity, your age, we look at all of the clinical trials that are available and decide who is eligible based on the eligibility criteria, not based on whether or not I or another physician colleague would recommend it to the patients. And we hold everybody accountable such that patients are given the opportunity to participate in those clinical trials. And what we have seen is that the clinical trial accrual for minority women has skyrocketed, and we're very proud of that.
That is great news. Dr. Vivian B., thanks so much for your work.